Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. And it's the 4th of July and the fireworks are going off. Good gracious. And today we have to talk about a really fine new recording of Leonard Bernstein's Serenade after Plato's Symposium for violin and orchestra, and John Williams' Violin Concerto No. 1. Featuring James Ehnes, who's a marvelous violinist, as we all know, the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra under Stéphane Denève. Let's talk about the performance first, then we can talk about the music. The performances are great. I mean, Ehnes is just a pleasure to listen to in just about anything he does. He's smart. He's got a great tone. His technique is just impeccable. The St. Louis Symphony is marvelous. Stéphane Denève is a vibrant and exciting conductor. I mean, it's all good as far as that goes. Whether you care about the music is another issue. I don't think it's an issue with respect to the Bernstein. The Serenade is one of the great 20th century violin concertos. It's arguably one of Bernstein's major masterpieces. It's brilliant, an absolutely brilliant work. I love it. The main tune, da 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 da, that's it. It's actually the same theme. It's very interesting as the second subject of Korngold's Symphony. And although the Korngold is da 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 da, anyway, it fascinates me actually. The Bernstein the swings. The Korngold is more slushy and lyrical. It just always got me. Anyway, never mind. It's a great work. It's played to a fairly well by Ehnes and Denève. And it's an absolutely splendid performance, wonderfully recorded on PentaTone. There is a little bit of sniffling. You always hear that. Whenever you have violin and orchestra, the violin's always mic'd too closely, or almost always. And I kind of understand it, because if you do it in natural perspective, for some reason, on records anyway, it always sounds like you can't hear the violin properly. So I get it. But he snorts a little bit in a couple places. But after that, you forget all about it. It's really, really fine. John Williams' Violin Concerto No. 1. Well, John Williams is a composer of concert music, gets very, very little attention, as you know. It's his film music that gets all the publicity, and I think with good reason, because he's an incredible composer of film music and an incredibly versatile composer generally. His concert music is a mixed bag, at least what I've heard of it. This violin concerto does not strike me as particularly appealing. It does have some tunes, kind of, not film music type fun tunes, but ideas, themes, let's put it that way. The problem for me is that, first of all, the overall harmonic style is rather gray. It's what you might call modern chromatic tonal, not particularly personal. It really surprises me, because he's such a gifted melodist as a film guy. But here, we don't, and he's not the kind of composer who takes like all the film scores and throws them into his concert pieces like someone like Korngold did, speaking of which. No, it's all original material in a different kind of style, which may be very disconcerting to people who like his film music. The problems with this concerto is, first of all, it's in 3 movements, and most of it is slow. I mean, it's half an hour long. It's a big work. The opening is a moderato. Why? Why do people begin concerto first movements that always with this sort of midland tempo? I mean, you can start with a bang. You can do something exciting. Great classical composers did that, and it worked just fine. So I don't get it. I don't get this always sort of moderate, uninteresting sense that you don't get a sense anything's really happening. And you particularly don't hear because the thematic material is so uninteresting. I mean, at first I was sort of inclined to like it. I really was, because it struck me kind of as sort of similar to the opening nocturne of Shostakovich's first violin concerto. It's chromatic and whatever, but Shostakovich has really interesting melodic ideas in that nocturne, and Williams does not. Now, the central movement is, again, slowly, in peaceful contemplation. Well, we've just had slowly somewhat peaceful and somewhat contemplative. There is a quicker interlude in this movement. It has a fast bit. But even so, again, it just sort of, there's nothing happening. And then you get to the finale, which begins broadly, maestoso, and then finally it takes off in an allegro. But my God, you've had 25 minutes of mostly slow music until you get to the fast part, or 20 some odd minutes. I mean, I just was not convinced by the thing as a large-scale structure, or a piece where the violin and the orchestra are engaged in some kind of meaningful dialogue back and forth. It's wonderfully played. You may like it more than I did, but it strikes me as not one of Williams' most powerful pieces, either as film music or concert music. It just kind of lays there. It has some wonderful bits of orchestration. I'll give it that. I mean, God knows he understands the orchestra. And like I said, I can't question the performance. I really can't. But the work itself does not impress. The Bernstein, on the other hand, is fantastic. And I think it's worth having for that. And for Ehnes, who's I would listen to play just about anything. So there you have it, my friends. It's up to you. Keep on listening, and thanks for joining me. Take care.